Greetings, it's Deja Bliss, the Kundalini Queen. We're talking about life force energy management in this series. And today I'd like to touch on, or maybe speak more in depth into what it looks like when Kundalini, Shakti, the essence, the life force, is penetrating one of the chakras. And let's talk about the second chakra. When life force is penetrating and opening and igniting and activating and cleansing and purifying the second chakra, for example. And I'm just going to use this as an example so you can get an idea of how this looks in all the other areas. But second chakra, now some will go and say there are no more chakras anymore. Everything is melded and merged. But for the sake of understanding what the process is and to get there mentally, because that's kind of what we have to do with our consciousness. We have to kind of get there mentally. So we need to integrate all that was before known to be second chakra, and whether or not you have access to the actual chakra or if it's the memory reverberation, it doesn't really matter. So that was just for people talking about there being no more chakras. But for sake of conversation, second chakra is our ancestral chakra. It's the generational chakra, and it's directly connected to the woman's womb and to the reproductive organs of both sexes. So when there is life force moving in that area, this is also what we feel as a sexual impulse or a sexual urge. But what's really driving that, when the chakra is not open and awake yet, what's driving that is the desire of consciousness to purify the generational lines. So, as I'm even saying this, I am aware in reality right now that is coming to light in our consciousness that there are those who would utilize that knowing in a very self-serving way. So you can read my words here when I say if someone wants to purify a bloodline, their personal bloodline, for example, their DNA, and they know that to do that, that it is directly tied to the sexual impulses. So where in a mature or more highly organized and not self-serving but serving to life growth pattern of consciousness, I just want to say, a normal person, someone who is aspiring to evolve their consciousness in the most loving direction, let's say, which is you and I, hopefully you, and it is I, that we are drawn to similar aged or similar level of consciousness people that will help not only us to unlock generational patterns and heal karmic wounds passed down to us through our ancestors, but will also bless the other person to do that as well. Now, if we utilize this very deep and sacred awareness that through sexual acts we purify the bloodline or we cleanse it of karma, if we utilize that in reverse, if we inflict trauma in the process, so if we distort this frequency and we inflict trauma to the other party while seeking to only evolve our consciousness and take their evolutionary process into us, at first it will seem like you accessed a great amount of power, but let me remind you and let it be assured in the vastness of space and time that what is not given with awareness of the other equally receiving in the exchange, if it is not balanced, as the runic lore would say of the gebo, the cross, the X marks the spot, the equal giving and receiving, The as within, so without, as above, so below. So you are another me. What returns to you is the very taking of your life force. What you sought to take in order to elevate will be your demise. So I speak that into the collective, because when the Kundalini awakens in the second chakra of humanity, as it is now, those who are utilizing their heart center and the innocence of truly just going along their spiritual journey, trying to do the best they can to evolve their consciousness, hoping you don't hurt someone along the way, knowing that could happen as we're both, letting go of old traumas. Every time there is an intimate connection, yes, there's going to be some release of some traumas from the past. That's part of the healing. So I want you to know, I'm shifting gears away from that. I just felt like that strongly needed to go out in the collective as a message to those who would use this energy for self-serving gains. Now speaking to the polarity of that those of us watching who utilize this energy innocently, in alignment with our inner dharmic drive. So yes, that doesn't mean we never mess up along the way. That doesn't mean we don't make wrong choices, even sometimes ones that hurt other people. When we know that we can bring it back to forgiveness, when we can bring it back to love, when we can make amends, when we can right the wrongs and, come into a heart place with one another and move forward and make new choices where we choose not to harm, where we evolve our consciousness, we do better and better. This is why if someone's aging well, they're saying life gets better the older you get. Like I'm almost 46 years old, and I can truly say it is getting better and better every year because I feel like I'm educating myself in life each year. And of course, it's endless what we can know. I still feel I know nothing in the vastness of all that there is to know, but I feel like I'm doing better with the wisdoms that have been given me and the mistakes that we've made along the way. They are teaching moments and they carve us. And in the second chakra awakening, we learn from the mistakes and we learn from our ancestors' mistakes